fluff writing advice. Cut the fluff!
When writing sillier stories like the ones I tend to write, it's easy to assume that real emotional moments won't work. For instance, a tragic event such as a character death can't have an emotional impact because how can readers take tragedy seriously when it's smothered in comedy? The thing is, when combined well, tragedy and comedy go together like cheese and wine, tacos and tequila, sushi and sake. They're often combined in three distinct ways, methods I call divided, staggered, and united, and each method creates a very different reading experience. Firstly, the divided method, which is fairly uncommon, separates the comedic and tragic storylines completely. For example, the main storyline may be stuffed full of humorous moments, while a separate storyline is totally serious. One book that does this is Marina Lewicka's A Short History of Tractors in Ukrainian, where the main storyline is comedic, but a separate storyline, a flashback to the past, is completely devoid of humour, as it highlights the horrors of war and famine. I'm not saying war and famine can't be hilarious, they can, but in this case the humour's confined to the main plot. By using this method, you can be as wacky as you want in one storyline while being free to hit those tragic and emotional moments in the other. Readers know to laugh over here and weep over there. Or so you would hope. The staggered method uses alternating moments of comedy, sincerity, and tragedy, and if done well, neither detracts from the other. Think of the TV show Scrubs. While it's primarily a comedy, it does take place in a hospital, which, quite suspiciously, is where most deaths occur. We should probably look into that. Due to the setting and premise, the show can't help but deal with death and other difficult subjects, and the writers make it work by easing the audience in and out of those serious moments. This is probably the most difficult method to pull off because you need to be careful how you transition between the comedic and tragic moments. Get it wrong and you could have readers laughing at tragedy, or even worse, getting sad at your jokes. But if you show your readers they're meant to take the tragedy seriously, they will. If, on the other hand, you make light of tragic moments, you're giving them what researcher Agnes Marzelak calls permission to laugh, and they'll find everything funny. Even being mauled by a bear can be funny if you frame it right. That brings us to the united method, where everything's a joke, even death. There's no separation between comedy and tragedy, and the world's a silly place. Think Catch-22. Yes, it highlights the horrors of war, but it generally does so in a humorous way. While you could choose to take the tragic moments seriously, the book gives us permission to laugh early, joking about war, death, and liver failure. The absurdity makes it difficult to have a genuine emotional reaction to any of the tragedy. So comedy and tragedy can work together, you just need to decide how you want to combine them. Should readers take the tragic moments seriously, or should they find humour in everything? Set expectations early. When you give readers permission to laugh, almost any topic can be the target of a joke, except my haircut. There's no comedy there, some have even labelled it a tragedy.